What's up? I'm Wish. I make all types of rock music. Today I was just gonna walk you through how I made this slowcore song, duster song, whatever you want to call it. I've listened to a lot of Duster the past year or so, and for this video I've kind of distilled their sound into like three pieces. They recorded to tape, so they got those really fuzzy, soft tones. They got dreamy melodies, and they got introspective lyrics. Those are like the three things I try to do when I make slowcore music. Um, yeah. So for this song, I started with drums. I use addictive drums. For slowcore in general, I always start with the drums because it's a lot of really simple patterns. Super, they're just there to keep time mostly. So yeah, this is what they sound like. That's what they sound like dry, and then I just stem them out right here. And by the way, for drum, like you can use samples, you can use whatever. I just have addictive drums, so that's what I use. But yeah, I stemmed them out and I leveled them a bit, and I routed them all to this track right here. I got saturation. This is a tape emulator, a free tape emulator. RC20, distortion, cutting some of the lows, tone, And then this is what the drums sound like all processed. So obviously like way punchier than a Duster song would be. If you wanted it to sound more like Duster, I'd recommend like, turning the drums down a lot. And if you have an emulator like addictive drums, you can just use like the overhead mic or just the room mic, something like that. If not, if you're using samples, you can just put a reverb somewhere in your chain with like a short decay or a low mix level. Um, but yeah, the drums are pretty simple. The chords, I'm in drop D. I'm playing on a Strat on the I'm playing bridge on the bridge pickup, tone knobs all the way up. I'm playing around the sus2 power chord. It's like a super easy chord to play. You can move it up and down the neck and get like, good chord progressions really easily. Yeah, so this is what I got. That is being routed right here and here. If you're new to rock music, I'd recommend for pretty much for 90% of your songs, you're going to want to record two good takes and pan one left and right. For this song, I got one panned hard right and one panned 60% left. These are just going through guitar rig, through the Coolplex amp, which is a vintage Marshall sim. I got the parameters set a little bit differently on each one to just kind of give the tone a little bit more depth. These EQs are just cutting the lows, boosting some mids, And then they're going to this guitar bus that's just RC20, and this is it's kind of like a sidechain EQ for the vocals. And then the melodies, like I said earlier, you want them to be, real simple, understated, but like, dreamy, I guess. That right there is like the main melody for the song. It's like, it's barely anything, as you can see. It's that on every 4 bars. Sorry, but that just hits on the one every 4 bars. Um, but like super simple. That's obviously not like a technique you'd hear Duster use a lot, but the idea is the same. Just keep it simple and make it pretty. You know what I mean? And then that is being sent to this right here. It's being panned right a little bit, and same thing through this Coolplex amp, routed to this guitar bus again. And then there's a second melody that comes in halfway through the song. And that's just playing what would be the extension of the chords pretty much. And they're being routed with the chords actually left and right, one left, one right. And then the bass is super simple for this type of stuff. You just, follow the root note and copy the strumming pattern of the chords basically. And that is going right here, put in mono and guitar rig on the fully charged bass preset, and then it's going through RC20 again, cutting some of the lows, a little bit of distortion. If you're new to rock music, you know, a big mixing tip for me was like cutting the lows on the bass. For the music I used to make, you know, like that's not something I'd ever do, but it helps a lot with stuff like this. And then of course you got the vocals. For the vocals, I use like heavy auto tune because I'm super inspired by people like Quanic and Jane Remover, but you know, you don't got to do stuff like that obviously. But the chain, I just got like a lot of just lots of layers of saturation and compression, and I keep the flow and the vocal melody real simple. You know, it doesn't have to be doing much. Yeah, all that together sounds like this. First, the master. I got, this is just like a tape saturator, OTT depth 8%, and then everything else is default, and Oxford inflator. This is basically just like, if you're in FL, you have wave shaper just by default. Right here, this is basically doing the same thing as Oxford inflator. If you make this half sign and just kind of boost it a little bit, it's just gonna make your track louder, and like it's basically just like distorting it and like pushing it into a soft clipper pretty much. But yeah, Fruity Wave Shaper and Oxford Inflator do pretty much the same thing if you don't have this plugin. It's a good plugin though if you don't have something like it, it's good. But yeah, this is what it all sounds like together.
She says she's done, and I can come home. There's a new heaven, and it's in my room. There's a new heaven. There's a new heaven. There's a new heaven. There's a new heaven.
Yeah, I mean, I think it came out pretty well. If you like the song, it's out everywhere. I'll leave it linked in the description. If you got questions, let me know. Hope this video was helpful, you know. That's it. Peace.